Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to take what we did yesterday and take expanded form, and I'm going to show you something that you can do with your expanded form then. And this is called partial sums. So we're going to just do a couple practice problems today using the strategy partial sums that can help you to add when you have larger numbers. So we're going to start with the numbers 59 and 26. And remember, yesterday we talked about expanded form is taking those digits and finding their value. So in this case, we have to find out what the value of the 5 is and the value of the 9, the value of the 2, and the value of the 6. If they were just on their own, they would just be in the ones place. 2 bunchums, 6 bunchums. But since they're together, their value has changed a bit, especially the 2. The 2 is now worth how much? It's worth 2 tens because it's in the tens place. And the 5 is worth how much? It's worth 5 tens because it's in the tens place. So I am going to see if I can get a better pen today. Hopefully this will work. And we're going to talk about taking these numbers and making it into expanded form. So here we go. We said the 5 was worth 50. Fancier pen, huh? Because it's worth 5 tens. And if you want to go ahead and draw out your base 10 blocks like we did yesterday, you can. But if not, if you think you've got it, we can just go right to how much its value is. If we wrote this out, we would have 5 tens. Just like that. And then you could count them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 if you'd like to practice that. But if not, we're just going to, like I said, go right for the value of the digit. So then we're going to add them because that's what this is. And we're going to say that that 9 is worth how much? The 9 is worth just 9 because it's in the ones place. So now we have 50 plus 9. And if you add that together, like we said yesterday, you would have 59, which is our original number. All right, let's do it with the 26. But this time I'm going to let you work on it and then we'll do it together. So go ahead, take your paper, take your pencil, take your book, whatever you're using. And I want you to try to expand the number 26. How much is the 2 worth and how much is the 6 worth? All right, let's see how you did. So the 2 is worth, since it's in the tens place, it's worth 2 tens. So there's your 2 tens. If you count the 2 tens, that'd be 10, 20. So the 2 in this case is worth 20. And how much is the 6 worth? We're going to add them together. The 6th is worth 6 because it's in the ones place, 6 bunchums. And if you add 20 plus 6, you should get this original number. And that's 26. All right, you guys are doing great. Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you how we're going to take this and use this for partial sums. I'm going to erase my arrow here because I want to use this bottom. All right, we're going to see how this will work with our partial sums. All right, so if I had the number 59 plus 26, I would want to be able to add those numbers together. So that's what we're going to do. This is the partial sums of it. We're going to pretend like this is what you saw, 59 plus 26. Now we just put them into expanded form, which is what partial sums is. We're going to find out the partial sums of these numbers. Okay, so I'm going to extend this line across here. Now, once we've put this in expanded form, we can go ahead and take this and add it. Well, 50 plus 20, if you look over here with your tens, you've got 50, 60, 70. So we can write 70 down here. And then let's see if we add 9 plus 6. And if I had written my ones out here, if I'd written 9 cubes, you know what I mean, then I could count up the cubes and I would get the number 15. And that's really what our partial sums are. We're adding the numbers that are in the tens place and adding the numbers in the ones place and then we're figuring out our answer from that. It's just one strategy that we can use to add. So if we had 70 plus 15, our answer would be, if we take this, you know what we can actually do? We could actually do this in partial sums as well. We could take the 70. How much is this one worth? It's worth 110. So we could add that over here, which would be 80, and 5 would be left over. So our answer would be 85. We'll look at that a little bit more closely in our next problem. But that's what partial sums is being able to take the value of those digits, expand them, and then add them. As you continue to practice this, one of the things you'll notice is you'll start doing it more mentally, which is kind of what I do. Like when I'm in the grocery store and I'm trying to figure things out, I do partial sums, but I can do it mentally because I practiced it so much. So hopefully that's where you get to. All right, let's try another one. Let me see what I have here. All right, let's do the number 59 plus 26. Everybody, you go ahead and write that down on your paper. All right, 59 plus 26. We're going to go ahead and expand both numbers, see how much they're worth. See if you can do this. I'm going to see. Go ahead and try it. Remember, what's the value of the 5? What's the value of the 9? And if you need to write out your base 10 blocks, go ahead. I'm going to write mine out. There's my 5. And down here, I'm going to look at this. This is in the tens place. So I know I have 2 10s. There you go. So I've already just looked at what my tens place is going to be just by looking at my base 10 blocks. So let's count them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So the 5 is worth 50. And then how many ones do I have in the ones place? I have 9. And then here I have my tens. So how many tens do I have? 10, 20. So my 2 is worth 20. And how many ones do I have? 6. Now I can take my partial sums and add those together. So I know I have 50 plus 20. And if I go over here to my base 10 blocks, look what I have. I have 70. And then let's do it with those again. 9 plus 6 is 15. Now, this is the same problem we did before, but I want to show you what we can do with this again. So I'm going to take that 70, which is already broken down for you, really, and the 15. And I'm going to show you how we could do that with partial sums. 70, well, right now we know it's 70. And how many ones do we have? We have 0 ones. And then how many tens do we have? We have 1 10. 1 10 is worth 10. And how many ones do we have? We have 5 ones. Right there again, we can do it. 70 plus 10, 80. And then how many ones do we have? 5. Just like when we expanded the number, what would our answer be then? 80 plus 5, 85. So that's our expanded form and partial sums for that continuation. My 5 got a little crazy there. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, I'm going to give you one. We're going to try it on our own. This is going to be our, let's do 71. Sorry, I changed my mind. See if I can erase that. I apologize. All right, let's try that again. I'm just going to give you a teen problem. All right, let's do 71 plus 34. And right now you should automatically be thinking, what is the value of these digits? Because that's what we're going to do as far as our partial sums and expanded form. We're going to figure out the value of these digits. So I'm just going to look at this right now and know that the 7 is in the tens place. So that's going to be worth 70. I did that pretty quickly, but guess what? If you need to write the base 10 blocks, go for it. This is just a good practice. A good practice about value of the digits too, because that's what we really need to understand. And I can look at the ones place and I know that's a 1. So it's worth 1. And then I'm going to look down here and see what the value of the 3 is. It's in the tens place, so I know it's worth 30. And then I know that this is in the ones place, so it's worth 4. And now I'm ready to add my partial sums. So I can do 70 plus 30. Well, 10's my favorite number, so I know 7 plus 3 is 10. So 70 plus 30 must be 100. And then I know that 1 plus 4 is 5. So if I add these up, I have 100 plus 5 is 105. So the answer is 105. 100 plus 5 is 105, and that's my answer. And that's how you do partial sums. I'm going to do one more hard one and then give you time to practice. What if we have, see if I can challenge you a little bit. What if we have the number 122? And then we have the number 53. Now we've got kind of a mixed bag here, because now we have numbers in the hundreds and we have numbers in the tens, and we have to try to add them together. This just means we have a little bit more with our expanded form. So we're going to start with the top number. We have 122. So I'm going to look at this 1, and I know it's in the hundreds place. So it's worth 1 whole flat. And then I have 2 tens, and I have 2 cubes. So if I was going to represent that in base 10 blocks, it would look like that. Now I can take this and I can expand it. So I know 1 flat equals 100. 2 tens equal 20. And 2 cubes equal 2, because it's the ones place. So there you go. What I want to do now is take this number and do the same thing. So I could do the tens. And then my cubes, 3 cubes. And then we're going to try to figure this one out as far as it goes. Now I'm going to line this up to where they are. I don't have any number in the hundreds here. So I'm going to put my number, the 5 tens or 50, right underneath the 20, because those are both the tens places. And then I'm going to put my 3 cubes or 3 right underneath the ones place. So now I have that. So now I look at this and I go, well, 100 doesn't have anything to go with it. So I'm just going to put 100 down here below. So it's 100 plus 0 is 100. And then I know 50 plus 20. If I want to look at that, I can do my base 10 blocks over here. Or I know 2 plus 5 is 7. So that would make it 70 with my zeros. And then I know 2 plus 3 is 5. So now I've just written my answer in expanded form, doing my partial sums, and I'm going to put that together to make the answer. 100 plus 70 plus 5. 100 plus 70 means I have 7 tens plus 5 ones. So you take that expanded form and you put it back into the standard number because the value in the hundreds is just 1. So we put that in the hundreds place. The value of the tens is 7 tens or 70. So we put that in the tens place. And the value of the 5 is 5. So we just put that in the ones place. And that is how you do expanded form partial sums. Like I said, the more you continue to do it, the more you can almost do it mentally because you've had a lot of practice with it. But that's one strategy that you can use to add larger numbers. Have a good day.